your views matter.
Hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum, tasastakar, namaskar to all the listeners. This is attorney Shah Peerally for the Shah Peerally Law Show. And of course, we are in the COVID-19 shelter situation, and people listening to me abroad, I say good luck to you and wish you all the best, because this is getting really tough for everybody. It seems everything has stopped. The world has stopped. And we know that. And I have Michael with me on the board today. Thank you, Michael, for coming, especially in those tough times. And I'm very appreciative. We'll be opening the studio lines. If you want to call, the number is 510-617-1170. Am I saying it right, Michael? 510-617-11... No, I don't know. I forgot the number. 657, I think, 1170, right? Am I saying the number right? So, and the number to our office, 510-742-5887. And please confirm the number for me, Michael. The studio line, 657-1170. Exactly. 510-657-1170. And anything I'm going to tell you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Again, the studio lines are open. You can ask any questions. As far as I can try, I will answer, because many things we don't have answers right now, but we'll try our best. 510-657-1170. And of course, the famous 60-day suspension, we talked about it last week, and I had Attorney Sharif with me. We talked about the self-petition. The chances of people getting a chance to self-petition is right now, especially with high salary and people who are working, because I'm getting a lot of calls of people who are actually working in what we call those areas of basically of national interest. We have to make the national interest is major right now. People who are working in that field might be eligible for a national interest waiver, which doesn't require an employer. So take your chance on this, and since the suspension doesn't apply to you, you might benefit from it. So please, because situations have changed, the world has changed, and it's not going to get back to normal as a lot of people are hoping. But we're hoping at least we have some sort of normalcy. And also, things are really not clear what's going to happen. It seems like Texas, for example, is reopening on Friday. I don't know if they changed their mind. And other places are reopening. But the truth is that we have to be honest. The lockdown, while it's saving a lot of people in terms of getting things done, it's also hurting a lot of people, especially people who pretty much do small jobs. So it is really kind of sad, because some people are, especially people who are homeless, etc. Lines are gathering at the food banks, and it is not really something that we are really kind of fun about, because America is always full of food. We had a lot of food, we still have them. But again, it is something which is, like really changing in here. I really kind of want to make sure that you are safe and you're staying home, but at the same time, you are safe also in terms of your money. I think we have one caller. Let me take the caller, Michael. This is Shah Peerally. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Sir. Thank you for taking my call. I did have one question. Actually, I got laid off earlier this month, and the company told me my official separation date is they're still keeping me on 3 months on payroll, and that is my official end date in payroll, which is sometime say mid or end July. So, when does the 60-day timer start? Does it start from the day when I was told from my employer, or is it after 60 days, or after 3 months of time of payroll gets over, and that is when the 60-day timer starts?
Okay. That's an excellent question, because there are things that you have to check in order to know that. Number one, if the 3 months is a severance pay, then no, it stops on the date they made you stop. But if the 3 months is a normal payroll they're giving you, then your 60 days starts from the date after the 3 months. Okay?
I see. So 60 days starts from the day when they make me out of the payroll.
Yes. But you have to check what the payroll entails. If it is a severance package, no. If it is a regular payroll they're paying you, for example, let's say their salary is $5,000, an example, right? And they're giving you that $5,000 every month as a payroll just because of the situation we have right now, and then they will terminate you. Then technically the termination is that. But if it is a different story, it's a severance package, then you cannot count on it. Okay.
Yes, so they told me like they will still keep me on payroll for like next 3 months, and after that I'll be getting a severance package. So that means technically my 60-day will start once I'm out of the payroll and when they're not keeping me on payroll anymore.
Exactly. Just make sure that it's not a severance; it's regular payroll.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
As long as
and
very good question because people get confused, but there are case law on that if it is a severance, it is not considered as a continuation of the payroll. Right?
Sure. And another question I had was like, if during this 3 months of time when I'm still on the my current company's payroll, if I find another employer, and like, can I start before that, and like, can I be on 2 separate payrolls even though I'm not anyways working for my current employer? Can I start working for new employer, or and on H1B I cannot have 2 multiple payrolls because even though I have the H1B issued by the current employer and the H1B might get issued by a new employer in case it happens. So is that possible, or that's not like that would be a violation?
No, it is possible because H1B allows that as long as you can explain later how come you got 2 payments. And in the situation that we have right now, actually you'll be lucky if you have that. But if you get it, then take advantage of it. One doesn't prevent the other. Okay? Then the other one will become a severance. Okay?
Sure. So technically that is still possible, but then how would that end dates work in that case? Like, because the employer end date will be after I had joined the current or the new employer start date, right? Because usually that doesn't happen.
It's not the end date. There's no need for end date because you'll still be on the payroll, so you just move. Give me a call, we can analyze further. I have another person waiting, so you can call 510-742-5887. We'll do a consultation because I need some more details to answer you. But until then, your 3 month is good. Okay? Okay?
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'll call you.
You're welcome. Let me take another caller. This Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Mr. Shah,
Yes,
I have recently got I-797 approved for next 3 years as my H1B 6 years quota is over now. So my question is, do I need to get the stamp provided the existing situation? Is it better to get a stamp as early as possible, or is that okay if something wrong happens, if I have to go back to my home country or something like that?
Okay, first of all, let me get your question. You're asking, you're asking if you got an approval already and you're still with your company, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if it is an approval extension of I-94, you don't have to go for stamping. There's no need. In fact, you cannot go. There's no way to leave. So don't stress about that. You go for stamping only when you need to travel. Okay? Don't go for stamping for no reason because the extension of the I-94 is good enough if it was done inside the U.S. and you have the extension on the bottom. Okay?
Yeah, so actually the reason I am asking the question is like, provided the existing COVID-19 situation, if the layoffs and those kind of things happen, is it better to get stamp right now going near any nearby country, or is it okay that I have already I-797 approval for next 3 years, so it will work in any way?
Okay. It's a very good question. Number one, it doesn't matter you have the I-97 approved. If you get terminated, you're terminated, okay? So that the I-94 will have no value. Now, going for stamping right now, It is a good idea to have the stamping, but I can tell you right now is that if you go, there's no guarantee to come back, because everything is difficult, and there's no real any third-party countries which will do the stamping are not accepting anybody. So the only place you can go is India, but India is closed. Canada, they won't take it because they are already overwhelmed. Plus, it's closed. So I don't know where you will go right now to get the stamping. But of course, if you go and get it, and the time when you still have a job, you have a better chance. But even you go for stamping, there's no guarantee of coming back. So it's risky. The best is just to stay put here, and then if there's a problem, you get laid off or anything, just give me a call and I'll guide you what to do next. Because at this point, traveling abroad is like almost it's dangerous. Let's put it this way. Okay.
Okay, and one more last thing, that my wife's H4 was about to. They're supposed to extend that, but for the fingerprint appointment, this shelter in place happened on 17th of March, and at the same date it was given by the USCIS, so we missed that appointment just because of the shelter in place. So but when I look at the website right now, it shows that they have stopped the operation from 18th March.
Yes. Okay.
And when I call them, they said that they're going to rearrange that interview for the fingerprint.
They will rearrange.
So is that? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no need to stress about it now, because it was like a dead zone. They're doing a lot of exceptions. So just hang in there. Worst case scenario, you might have to reapply, but one thing you can do, you can just submit a letter just to confirm with them that please note that the shelter started on the 17th, so we couldn't come. So kindly reschedule. They already told you already checked it online. They will reschedule, but since it was on the borderline, just to be on the safe side, I will write a letter. Okay.
Oh, so writing. Okay, so I actually called them, and they said on the call that around that time they are going to reschedule. But I think I will write the letter as you recommended.
Just write the letter to be on the safe side. You have a record, okay? And
Thank
if you
you
need help, just give us a call, okay? 510-742-5887. Good luck to you.
Sure,
Thank you so much, Sam. Take care.
Bye.
The stuff that we are seeing, Michael, and if you want to call, we are taking calls right now. 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. Now, based on that suspension, a lot of people who have approved cases who went for stamping already got their stamps, and they're stuck, for example, in India, Fiji, any country in the world. Those stamps are still good, so you can travel on those, especially the non-immigrant visa. The same applies for people who have a green card. If you're traveling outside, you're stuck outside, or you're a U.S. citizen, of course, no problem. You get a chance to get a flight, you can go ahead and come back. Now the question, will there be any flight, and what are the risks, etc.? That's a different story. Now, I had a call from someone before, while we didn't have the radio. She wanted me to answer that, and the question was, what happened for people who went outside and the green card is now expired, they cannot come back? Well, technically, you won't be able to get onto the airline without an approved green card. However, if it's just a matter of extension, what you can do, once the U.S. Embassy is open, you go there and you request an I-551 stamp. What the I-551 stamp does, it allows you to come back here and then apply for your extension. Of course, now it's a hassle to even get to the embassy, especially if you're in a country where a lot of people already backlogged. To get in there is going to be a headache, plus staying in the line with social distancing, etc., etc. It's going to be a mess, so you need to hang in there and just wait in there until things get better. For people who are on H-1Bs, for example, or student visas, they're not able to come back. Just don't come back right now, because you won't be able to come back anyway. I don't think, unless some places that they told me that they are allowing people in, but I don't know which state is doing that. But I don't think it's true. Someone told me that, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to say anything about it. Again, you can call. The studio lines are open. We are live today. It's April 30th, 2020. Last show for this month. Next month, hopefully, will continue. We had a break because of the whole thing. And again, we are not out of it. We're still in the boat, and now we need to figure out how things are going to happen for the deconfinement. What is going to happen, and my heart goes to all those people really on the essential services, the police, the nurses, the doctors, and people, the cashiers. I forgot to mention them because they are putting their lives at stake too, and the people working in those food production, that we always forget about them. Farmers, they have really cracked down on a lot of immigrants, but now without them we're going to starve. Nobody thought about that, but a lot of people always tell me, oh, illegal immigrants taking their job, but let's see, there's so many people without a job right now. Are they going to go and work in the fields? I doubt it. So now we're going to have another problem. Plus, even their food production, the supply chain is completely messed up. So food is going to be our next problem. So people should think, well, now what's going on? We have the habit of being in the U.S., really kind of eating a lot, wasting a lot, and we don't realize the value of food until now. A lot of people, I remember reading an article one time, someone was saying two things. Number one, he said, we have so much food, we have plenty of food in the U.S. Even the wastage, for example, Vegas was wasting per day, it could feed the entire Africa. That's how much food was wasted. But now, right now, if you look at Vegas, they're having issues even to get food in, because they don't produce anything inside Vegas. They have to get it from outside, and the supply chain, farmers are producing, but the supply chain is not working. I'm mentioning that because this is all related. People should think. I'm very much an advocate of farming, planting, etc. So I recommend that you guys look into that. Produce your food. Most of us eat veggies most of the time. I am kind of mostly a veggie, even if I'm not completely 100%, but I like vegetables. So I've always planted my own food. But at the same time, there are many things happening out there. Again, the number to the studio today, 510-657-1170, 510-657-1170, 1170. Kindly call if you have any questions on immigrations. And as I was mentioning earlier, we are in an unprecedented situation. I don't even know how to pronounce it at this point. So it is something that is going to be, we cannot ignore those facts, right? And many things that we are used to, even our civil rights, are going to be changing. Okay, we are already seeing this happening in many places of the world, where they're cracking down on people, taking advantage of this COVID, and basically kind of making one group being blamed on another, and we are seeing a lot of people getting hurt. And plus, a lot of people are starving too. That's the biggest issue I see. So the deconfinement, as much as I know is dangerous, there should be something that can at least cater to those poor people. We have food banks, but from what I heard, food banks are almost off. They have only 30% of food left. And that's where we're going to see a lot of civil unrest. So I want you guys to understand that situations are difficult. Sometimes people call and say, okay, how come this is not that? Well, we are all of us are working pretty much, we are under essential services at this point. My team is working from home, but we are trying our best to serve you, so bear with us a little bit. We are making things happen, but it's still tough. And I want to take the opportunity to congratulate my team who are working from home, especially Darshi, who got a bunch of approvals yesterday. Actually, we got an H4 EAD, just the EAD approved within 30 days or something, which was something rare, because lately we have been seeing it takes 3 months even for regular EAD. And this one, we saw this happening, and this is kind of really helpful to see that. It gives us some courage. And also we are seeing a lot of people, pretty much I think 30% of the population losing their job, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about. you need to be ready to know that H-1Bs, a lot of H-1Bs are going to lose their jobs. There's an estimate of almost 200,000 losing their jobs. But at the same time, there will be a creation of, I think, 50,000 or 60,000 jobs, especially in the medical field, related to the medical, anything related to that. So if you are in those fields, it's good for you, so you should hang in there. But what happens if you get terminated? And we were talking about that. And again, the number to the studio, 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. So if you get terminated in H-1B and your 60 days grace period is coming close, I highly recommend, like I mentioned earlier, filing at least a B1, B2, an I-539 form, at least to keep you legal here, because you don't want to be completely out of status. Because while the B1, B2 is pending, it puts you in what we call a period of authorized stay. It's not a status. Okay, all it is basically a legal situation, so that you don't step in something else. And for those who want, I try to update my YouTube channel now, because again, I don't have I'm dealing with a lot of things too, so I'm not really writing articles. So you should subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shah Peerally Law, SHAHPEERALLYLAW. We have two channels, but the one that I really use is Shah Peerally Law. The other one was hacked a little bit, so I don't use it too much. But the main one is this one, where I put my updates pretty much on a weekly basis. So kindly check on it and make sure that if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, 510-742-5887. And the studio lines today is 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. Now, let's take one by one. Let's say you're married, and I'm seeing a lot of the situation. You are married and you went for your honeymoon, or your spouse is abroad and stuck. Well, the marriage petition is still working, by the way. You should not think it's gone. So you should not just give away on those. Continue your filing. The fiancé visa is still questionable. We're still finding out if they're accepting them, but since they say U.S. spouses are not affected, I'm hoping that the K1 will still be good. This is a fiancé visa. And I recommend that you talk to an attorney, at least do a consultation with us, 510-742-5887, and we can actually deal with that. So I really want to check how things are working, but at the same time, you should know that things are going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, and a lot of people also requesting for the stimulus package. At least the package that was supposed to come for businesses are not coming, actually. It's going to those big hot shots, and the small ones are getting choked. And that's where we cater to those people, like small businesses. We cater to them, and we are not able to cater to them if they cannot keep people's job. And that's where it is really kind of so it is now really something that is worrying everybody. But at the same time, we are hoping that after the deconfinement, at least we'll have some kind of chances of getting things move forward for everybody. But again, this it's almost impossible to tell, because we are dealing with something that doesn't have any precedence. It is new, more than new, and we should have expected it, because if you look at if you need quickly that you need help, please give us a call. But I said we should have at least known that this will happen. It is something that many people were talking about. If you watch sometimes some of those there was a documentary on that, and again, Michael is telling me to give the number again, because I think some calls are dropping. So please give us a call, 510-617-1170. 510-617-1170. This is the studio line. I know, Michael, because we have not done the show a little bit for a while live. So he's giving me the number again. I think I got it wrong. 510-657-1170. 1170. 510-657-1170, and this is April 30th, 2020, and this is Attorney Shah Peerally live, and we are talking, of course, about immigration, but also about all the issues related to the COVID-19, and what we are expecting is going to be really something. And also, I heard the EB2. I didn't have a chance to check the whole visa bulletin. Things are a little bit tricky for us. And the visa bulletin, I heard the EB2 move for one of the charts for India. So this looks good a little bit, and hopefully that will be helpful. And that will for those who it thinks the chart A, which is basically the processing time, has changed. So it means what will happen is that it is what they need to do is actually basically wait. Hopefully, if you already have your medical, etc., etc. So in May, if the dates become current, you might get your green card. So let's hope on that, because a lot of people have been calling me on that and ask me what's going on. And again, it moved to June 2009. In fact, yeah. And EB3 went to March 2009, which was kind of the same. So it is important that the visa bulletin, it's one thing we're going to see definitely. The visa bulletin is going to jump in 6 months or so. Well, because of the fact many people will not have their cases processed. So that's another thing you have to be ready for. Hopefully it will be good news. Now the big thing is, what happens if the dates become current but you don't have a job? That's going to be tricky, because if the job is no longer there, it's going to be tough for you to apply for your adjustment of status, especially if it is an EB case, employment-based case. So I recommend that you go ahead and you check with a lawyer if you can do something like a national interest waiver or an EB1. A national interest waiver doesn't require an employer, so job or no job, it will be there. I think we have one caller, right, Michael? Take the caller. This is Shah Peerally, you're live on air. Hello.
Yeah, hi Shah. This is Vikas here.
Hi Vikas, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, I had a question regarding my wife's situation. So, my H1B renewal is due. So, it's expiring in December, so I'll be applying for it, and she is on her H4E. So, I wanted to know, is it a good idea to apply H4 EAD renewal with the H1B and H4 renewal? Or we just apply for the H4 renewal together with H1B and then go out of the country, maybe later sometime, and then get stamped and then come back for the H4 EAD? Then, come back
let
and then
me get it right. So you're applying for H1 extension right now?
Not right now, yeah. I'll be in a month. It's expiring in December.
You already applied, right?
No, not yet applied. I'll be applying. In a month.
And your H4 for your wife is also happening
yes,
around December, right? So same date, right?
And she's working on H4 EAD. So
okay.
Right now,
what you need to do is that well, it's very hard for me to tell you now if it is better. The best is when you apply for the H1, go ahead, apply for H4 EAD. If things are going very slow, you can always leave, come back on H4 and reapply for the EAD. Because the danger of leaving the country is there's a chance not coming back. Remember, that thing is evolving on a daily basis. Having a plan to leave the country is as dangerous as this COVID. Because most of the people who left didn't come back. So even if December, this thing is not going to go away. Most experts are saying around at least till April next year, things are not going to be good. If I were you, unless some kind of miracle things clears, I will go ahead when I apply for H1, I'll apply for the H4 and H4 EAD also. Okay?
Yeah, basically I wanted to know, if by chance she goes out, just to Canada or some other place when it opens up, and then she comes, how fast is just the EAD approval once you get the H4?
Well, the EAD is not taking long based on the last case we did, just the EAD. The problem is getting the H4, because Canada already was taking 6 months for non-resident of Canada to get the stamp. If she's a resident of Canada or Canadian citizen, then yes. But going to Canada right now is going to be worse because already they are backlogged and they are taking 6 months. They're giving priority to Canadian citizens. Now, it's very risky. But if you're able to do that, yes, it's a good option. But it's a risky option.
Okay.
I don't think things are going to clear in 6 months, so be careful.
Okay.
I will personally, if you ask me, I'll go ahead and file the H4 EAD with the H1.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, the option is good. If you're able to get it, it will go faster, definitely. Because the H4 will go fast if there's an appointment. And then as soon as you come back, you file for the EAD. Hopefully your EAD will be processed faster.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good luck to you. It's a very good question, but unfortunately the answer is not really clear until we know exactly how things are going to be in America. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck, Vikash. Take care. And if you need help, call us 510-742-5887. Our website, attorneyonair.com. Our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Shah Peerally Law. Shah Peerally Law. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel because I'm not writing articles anymore. Actually, I'm not even updating the website because of all the things happening. It's really stressful, so I have to deal with so many things at the same time. So I would like to know if you want to call, the studio lines are still open. 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. And if you want a consultation, we can do a phone consultation. 510-742-5887. 510-742-5887. And also, I wanted to mention to people that things are tough, but we will hopefully get out of this, so don't give up. We know there's a lot of bad things happening, and the world is not going to be the same, definitely, and it cannot be the same. It's almost impossible. This is the first time the entire world crippled. It seems like people on third world are doing better, fortunately or unfortunately for us, but fortunately for them. And we are here sitting and pretty much kind of waiting, and the whole system seems to be not doing well. We're going to see a lot of loss of jobs. We're going to see a lot of unrest. But what I'm hoping is that things will get better after the storm. So the vaccine might be the big option, and a lot of people also don't agree on that. But I think is the only thing that will kind of give people feel some sense of safety. Then they will be able to go out. And if people don't go out, everything stops. Business stops, income stops, everything. So I want you to understand now, if this kind of things happen, and you are basically using the credit cards and things like that, I highly recommend that you make sure that you go ahead and you cover for what we call for your credit cards. For example, let's say a lot of people are using the credit cards right now, and their houses also are going down. So we'll take one by one. I'm going to a different subject now, which is called debt settlement. If you have been using the credit card and hardship, there is hardship, you might be able to settle that amount with the bank for the value, for less than the value. For example, let's say you owe $10,000, we might be able to settle it for $2,000-3,000, and then they clear you for the other $7,000. We can do that sometimes for second mortgages, which is going to come once the equity starts falling, which we're expecting to happen, of course. So be ready. If you need help on those, we can help you. And the way we do debt settlement is we have a very high success rate, and I'm very proud of the team on that. And we need to go ahead and make sure that if you need help, you give us a call, 510-742-5887, and we can do that for second mortgages, we can do that for credit cards, we can do that for judgment, etc., etc. So I recommend that you give us a call and check this website. yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, and the number 510-742-5887. Now, if you want to call the studio, the lines are open, 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. This is Attorney Shah Peerally from the Shah Peerally Law Group, and we are discussing about the situation that many immigrants are facing. And as you know, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, especially if you are on some kind of non-immigrant visa. This is going to be more tough. Now, what happens next? That's the big thing. Number one, we mentioned the fact that if you are stuck here and you need to continue staying here until you look for another job, etc., I highly recommend you file what we call the B1, B2 temporary visa, just to keep you here until something gets better or you find another job. And one of the ways to do that is to file the I-539, or you can go ahead and give us a call. We can handle it for you. 510-742-5887. 510-742-5887. And we are also filing for people who are filing extension on their H-1B, or even still preparing your basically labor certifications. We can help you, and also debt settlement. All these are going together now, and of course now you need to hang in there, because like I said, and this is not only me who's saying that, it's pretty much all the experts are saying we are going to be in this probably until the end of this year, and probably up till April, and this is going to be a tough ride. It's not going to be, it's already a tough ride. You know that, I don't have to tell you, but at the same time you need to be able to ride this so that you protect the future. And what I was talking about earlier is that issue of making sure you file an extension. And I know it's also the month of Ramadan, so Ramadan Mubarak to all. I wanted to tell you it's time to pray. Pray for goodness, pray for that we get out of this, because like I said earlier, this is nothing that we have ever seen, although some people are seeing it more like something fishy going on there. I don't know, maybe true or not, but I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories. The lockdown worked, but it doesn't work in many countries of the world also. Many countries, they barely have any cases, but they are under lockdown, and their people are starving, and we're seeing that a lot in third world countries, and you're seeing people really kind of going at each other's throat just for food. And that's the part which is really kind of heartbreaking, because it's not something that we see on TV anymore. It's happening in front of us. We used to see that in war-torn countries like Syria, like Afghanistan, and places like that. But now it's all over the world. Even in America, some places, I heard that they are having a lot of people breaking in to get food. Lebanon happened yesterday, and Nigeria it happened. They were, and even in Vietnam, I heard that where they have stock and they barely have any cases, they're having issues with food. And that's going to be the biggest problem we're going to see actually, is food distribution. And that's why Trump actually kind of pushed food production companies to stay open. But how do you stay open if you don't have employees? And many of those employees are immigrants. That's the irony of it. We have basically kind of cut off on all those immigrants, and now the few ones left are getting sick and they cannot replace them. Farmers are destroying their own food because they can't sell it. In Idaho, they throw away a lot of potatoes when so many people could have gotten it. They were ready to give it for free, but there's no distribution system. And our system is meant to, in a way that there is certain amount that is distributed to the big companies, commercial, and another amount which is distributed to the people. And the big producers, they like to distribute to restaurants, to big stuff, because then the packaging is less, and they can send stuff in bulk, and that's where they make a lot of the money. And by just sending to regular people, they don't really make anything. They can't cover their cost. And if they don't cover their cost, then they have another problem. The biggest problem that we see is the situation of how to put it? We are in a situation of really it sounds desperate, but it's not. Until the lockdown is lifted, we are going to see a lot of this happening. I just wanted to mention all this because I am kind of following up very closely how things are going to reopen. Having said that, now if things reopen, there will be a lot of push in the economy, so a lot of jobs might be created also. So that's the other side of the coin. Many industries will reshuffle their people to work on things that maybe on manufacturing might get bigger, and with manufacturing, service sector will also grow because they need the service to actually continue on that. So all those things are going to happen, and we will be having to be ready for that, but we need to hang on at least for the next 1 year probably. Not on a lockdown, but 1 year is going to be really tough minimum, and hopefully if we can ride this, we will be better off, and hopefully we'll be better people seeing all those things happening. And again, this is Attorney Shah Peerally. We're live today. It's April 30th, 2020. I don't know how much time is left, Michael, but the studio lines are open. You can call on anything on immigration, family petitions, adjustment of status, National Visa Center issues, EB1, EB2, H1B, you name it. 510-742-5887 is the number to our office, and the number to the studio today is 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170, and we are talking, of course, about all the issues related to the COVID-19 plus immigration. Those are the two things. And in the beginning, I mentioned about the 60-day suspension. It's affecting a lot of, to be honest, it's not affecting a lot of people inside the U.S. Although few cases they will not process. They have not really been clear on that, but we are still working on them. So, but definitely people outside, you're pretty much going to be stuck for a while. But it's mostly the green card that is being affected. Non-immigrant visas like H1Bs, L1, O visas are still good, so take advantage of that. Hopefully now they say in 30 days they will review that. Now it is going to be tricky. I think I have another caller. Let me take the caller. This is Shah Peerally. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question that my I-797 recently got approved for next 3 years. So I just want to understand how it works. Like in this situation, if I go back to my country, can some other employer later use this I-797 and get me here again?
Okay. It's not the 797 they can use, but they can use a cap exemption. Like once you get approved on an H1B, okay, you are in the cap exemption. You just got it approved right now, so first H1B you got?
No, this is my 6 years is over, and this is next 3 years extension based on I-140.
Oh, okay. So yes, the answer is yes. All they have to do is basically a new employment, cap exempt. But then if you're outside, you will probably, if you don't have a stamp on your passport, you have to go for a new stamping. You can still use that same 797 if the same company didn't revoke it, plus they want you back. So that's another thing that can actually happen. So I don't know exactly how you're going to be able to get an interview for a job, but if you get an interview or a job is willing to take you, yes, you can use that same cap exemption, come back. You don't need to go for a new cap exemption. How long you had your I-140, by the way?
From 2018 January.
Okay, so you have it for a long time, then they cannot revoke it. So yeah, you can use the same I-140, you can use the same H1B cap exemption, you move it from one company to another. But if you're outside and you don't have a stamp on your passport, after approval you need to go for stamping, then you come back. To answer your question, the answer is yes, but there's some work to be done, that's all. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. And if you need help on that, feel free to call us 510-742-5887. 510-742-5887. The website to check, attorneyonair.com, attorneyonair.com. Just to let you know, I'm asking everybody, just subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, because that's the best way to actually get information now. Because on our website, I'm not really updating it because Our teams are kind of under shelter, etc., etc. So please bear with us. If you need any information or consultation, feel free to reach out 510-742-5887. 510-742-5887. And also, I would like to let people know that this is we are seeing a lot of things. It is something very, very interesting. Well, it's not interesting in a good way, but it's interesting what is happening. A lot of people are, of course, protesting against the lockdown. As much as I would like to discredit them, but there are some stuff that they're right on some kind, because a lot of people are pretty much kind of stuck. They don't have a job, and I know a lot of people are thinking, okay, this one wants to go to the barber shop, to the hairdresser, but remember, those people are also working. So if you don't go to them, they don't get paid, and if they don't get paid, they cannot eat. It's basically the whole system works this way. It has always worked. This is a capitalist system. It's not only the capitalist system. This is the system that we have been used to. We live in America. We are used to, hey, you work, you get paid, and you buy something from me or for someone else. And it goes on like that. But if the entire circle is stopped, guess what happens? And that's what's having an effect on immigration too. Because if those companies don't have anything to provide as service to those smaller companies, then there's no company for the service. The service is related to the product. No product, no service. Of course, there are some businesses that are going to boom. For example, businesses that produce medical stuff, businesses that actually kind of are in the biotechnology, businesses that do basically delivery, etc. But even Amazon are pretty much stuck and everything. So it's you have to really kind of understand that it's not going to be the straightforward case that you're used to. Having said that, we're still getting cases approved. We're still seeing good results on our cases. So I highly recommend that you give us a call, 510-742-5887. And we're still on for a few more minutes, right, Michael? We can take one more caller if you call 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170. We will continue the show, by the way, as much as we can. Let's see how long we can hold, but we will hold, hopefully. So let us know if you need any help. You can call our office, 510-742-5887. And the number to the studio, 510-657-1170. 510-657-1170 is the studio, but we don't have much time. I think only 5 minutes, right, Michael? So let me talk a little bit more about the debt settlement, because this is going to come really fast. A lot of people, like I said, are going to use their credit cards, and the credit card is what's going to be the next thing, because if you're not getting an income, how do you survive? You will have to use those credit cards. And then ultimately, if you use the credit card and you cannot pay, what do? We can help you pretty much negotiate those amounts and reduce it, and you pay only a fraction and you get out of it. And what we mean is not a bankruptcy, because bankruptcy has its own issues. As much as many people will go for bankruptcy, not everybody will qualify for it. But still, people will want to settle things, and one of the ways we do that is called debt settlement. It's a negotiation between us and the other side, the creditor, the lawyer who's basically going after you, the collection agency, or even if they have a lawsuit against you. You don't want this to accumulate, because what will happen, especially now when the companies are going to have issues themselves, they will grab on any assets you have. And what they do, they will file a lawsuit against you, and once they get the lawsuit on, most people will not spend money to defend those lawsuits because it will be so costly. They will get what we call a default judgment against you. A default judgment means you didn't really show up, but they still won against you. And what that does to you, it actually kind of gives them a chance to put their hands in your pocket. So if you have any kind of paycheck, they will garnish it. If you have a bank account, they can levy it. If they have any property, they can put a lien on it. So all this put together, we are going to see a lot of things happening. And one is not helping the other. We are not able to really kind of we cannot just say, okay, we'll just let it go and see what happens next. Well, it's good to be proactive, but when it happens, you have a hardship, which we are all in, we might be able to help you. Give us a call, 510-7425-887. 510-742-5887, and the website to check, attorneyonair.com, attorneyonair.com. And again, Michael, I think we'll have 3 more minutes or something. So let me just recap what we have discussed earlier. For one, we were talking about the suspension. The suspension is affecting mainly people outside, by the way. People inside are still getting affected, but not that much, although other factors are affecting people inside. For one, a lot of people losing their jobs, and they need to stay here until they find another job. And one of the options we gave is basically change to the B1, B2, and then continue looking for a job. The other question is, if you go back, can you revive your H-1B? The answer is yes. Within 6 years, you can, well, if you have an I-140 approved, you can pretty much get it back a long time after. But earlier you can get on back to America is the best. Now, the questions that I'm getting a lot, should I travel outside to get this? Don't travel outside even if it opens unless necessary. Because traveling outside, for one, right now, we're going to see a huge line waiting at the U.S. Embassy, and you don't want to be in any line right now. And second, unless it is necessary also, don't take chances and cases without knowing, because a lot of people are jumping from one to another. And the third question that I get a lot, can I apply with 2 companies? Yes, you can. You can even have 2 H-1Bs being filed. So be ready for those 2. Things are really not to the same way that it used to be. So you need to think outside the box. You cannot just sit down and wait for things to just clear up. It's not going to clear up, first of all. It's going to tone down slowly, but we are not going to be in the same America we have been 4 months ago. It's really kind of different. We are in a different world. It's not only America. I think India is the same. Africa is the same. There are no countries really not affected by it, except probably tribes who live in the mountains. They really don't get affected unless they get sick. So it is something that you need to take into consideration and have a reality check on, unfortunately, and make sure that you have options at least to protect you now and a future plan. You cannot just think, okay, things are going to be okay and I'll be okay. No, it won't work like that. So make sure you have a plan. Stay home, stay safe. If you have if you don't have to leave the house, don't go. But ultimately, if there's a deconfinement, make sure. I'm a big advocate of the mask. Wear the mask, wear the face thing and everything, the face guard and everything. Don't just go like that. Wearing a glove, it's not really a good idea. You should wash your hands. But I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying for things because I've been an advocate of that before even this thing started. Now, I wanted to thank you all for listening. I wanted to thank Michael for being on the board with me. And again, anything I told you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out 510-742-5887, 510-742-5887. We'll be back next week, same time, PST, 10 a.m. PST. So please join in and stay safe. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.